All right, so before we get into anything, we are really big about just getting to know one another. The Repurpose Project, as you will learn, it's skill building, but it's also relationship building. So I have a little this or that type of icebreaker that we could do. I'm hoping I can pull that up for everybody. Okay, I can. Awesome. One time I tried and it just didn't happen and we had to move on and that was okay. All right. So it's just 10 questions. I'm going to launch it. We can all take the little this or that quiz and then we will move forward from there. All right. I just launched it. Let me know if you didn't see it. All right. Responses are coming in. Thank you so much. I'm going to end the poll. Thank y'all. All right, so let's see these results. Can you see the results? All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, I think I stopped sharing them, but I seen some T's, right? I see more of us like to take flights than road trips, I believe. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Probably can, but any questions? Did any questions stick out for you? Did any question make you think more? I'm curious. I didn't get down there yet, but by the show of either real hands or virtual hands, maybe a virtual hand, basketball, thumbs up or thumbs down over football. Now you can put your virtual hands up or put it in the chat. Oh, block parties, less family drama. I hear that. Thumbs up. Okay. And you notice I said basketball, right? Because I was biased in saying basketball, thumbs up, and all of that. Okay. Football. Okay. Okay, Jay. All right. And I think another one, Android or Apple, that's like the, it's just that battle. All right. So who would do Android over Apple? Or Apple over Android? I'm pretty impartial. But I do have an iPhone, but I didn't buy it. I was gifted it and I love it. So, but they're expensive. Right. All right. Apple for phone, Android PC. Okay. Nice. All right. Last question, and then we'll move on. New or recycle? That's why we're here, right? I know for me, just as we're getting into it, I don't know when my mind started to shift, but anything that I'm done with using, I always have a second thought. What more can I do with this? Right? What more can I save this? Whether it's a box, whether it's a jar, whether it's something cool that just broke, and I'm like, well, what can I do? Recycle. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Breck. Yes. Recycle for the win. That's why we're here, right? All right. Thank you. But yes, so that's why we're here. Thank y'all for indulging me and also us getting to know one another a little bit more as we are here. And that's icebreakers also are good to like be present, especially in this world of virtual meetings and different things like that. I can't tell you how many times I have sat in a virtual meeting and my name has been on the screen, my screen has been black, and I have been completely somewhere else, not in physical, but whether I'm doing something or whatever. So that gave us an opportunity to all be in the moment. So thank you for that. So Fruits of the Family Table, when people think about our organization, they think about food insecurity. And our mission has nothing to do with food insecurity, but it does have something to do with relationship building. The significance of a table is back in the day, and even sometimes in certain situations in certain households and cultures, sitting at the table meant a lot, right? To sit down to a meal with somebody means a lot, a lot of times we see it in movies, right? People are sitting down at the table, they're having hard conversations. Agent Corey mentioned about the drama and different things like that. But think about Thanksgiving, right? We're all together, we're all sharing a meal, and things come up and they come out, right? But sometimes it's things that need to come up and come out. So when we think about the idea of a table and being supportive and being a social service organization, we think about the building of relationships, right? You sit down, yep, you eat. You might digest some things, that's some good things, right? Food, words, and some things you have to digest that may be a hard conversation, but it's real conversations that need to be had, needed conversations. And we want people to leave our organization feeling better, getting up, feeling like, okay, I know which way I need to go. And you might need to come back to the table and sit down. But it's the metaphor of the table is why that is a part of the name in our organization. We definitely want to leave folks better than what they were before they came to our organization. And we will, and it's all in love, right? But we are having conversations that are hard. We are working with things that are hard, doing things that need to be done that are hard. Sometimes we have a tendency to avoid those things and they grow and they get worse, right? So the idea of the table is that we are sitting down, we're having these conversations, we're setting these goals, and we are working with you to achieve them. All right. So that's the idea of the table. The Repurpose Project. So the Repurpose Project, as we were talking about the upcycle versus new, right? It is a way that Fruits of the Family Table is able to assist in addressing and trying to offer an intervention solution for the violence that's taken place in Philadelphia. It's to reduce violence by empowering and educating young adults, 18 to 24. We're using arts. We are incorporating trauma-informed therapeutic instruction, as well as providing case management. And it's a lot of other layers that go within the Repurpose Project, but that in a nutshell is what we're doing. And why the Repurpose Project. So as we look at the different stats here, some of the things that stuck out the most as we were coming up with the concept of it and why we were doing it and how is it going to help is the incorporation that I'm seeing within the folks that we have been working with of art and talk, art and, sitting down, different things like that, is we all have different ways of expressing ourselves, of coping with things and getting things out. Some people do like to speak. Some people like to use their hands and create. And we have seen some things that were amazing because, and some folks have chimed in and found their breakthrough by way of things that they heard and what they were able to express. So by us combining the two, it's really been a magical experience. The significance of mental illness, as we know, a lot of the violence and the mindset of folks that are either performing, engaging, or those that have been survivors of, or even, fatalities in the idea of the violence that's taking place in our city is a lot of it is trauma based and trauma that may have never been addressed, trauma that may have, there may have been attempts to be addressed, but, there may have been lack in the service or the quality of service or the consistency of service. A lot of things that we have to take into account. And one thing that we know is when within the African American communities, if the trauma is not addressed appropriately, it will result in some type of incarceration, and in a lot of instances in death and murder. All right. So I just had some stats down here. I had to update this a little bit. What I did update was as of June 15th, there has been 666 shootings in Philadelphia, 13 fatalities of individuals who were 18 and under, 82 fatalities in individuals who are young adults. So between that 19, 24, and I think sometimes they push it to like 26 age group. I mean, we know what the numbers look like. We watch the news. Even if you don't watch the news and you're on social media, it comes up in the feed, right? So this has been something that we have been trying to do just to try to provide some type of solution. And we definitely feel like, I believe truly that we are onto something with this program, but also looking at the mental illness and the need for it to be more prevalent in our area. But a lot of times stigma stops folks from connecting to certain services. Quality of care stops folks from connecting to certain services. And within the Repurposed Project, we do have a psychotherapist, and we also have social workers, licensed clinical social workers, as well as students working on their master's degrees in social work. So we want to not only, and we try to not only remove the stigma associated with getting help, but also provide some confidence as it relates to culturally supporting of individual that very well could be your neighbor, that very well may have been in your shoes and had learned some tools along the way in their life that they can impart on you, and also can be a model, because we also have everyone can be a model because we've all been through something, but we have folks that are identified specifically as mentors that can give, you know, some type of insight as to a been there, done that type of idea, in addition to modeling certain behaviors and certain ways of coping, because we're all dealing with it some form or fashion, you know, whether our lives have been impacted by a loss, whether we have witnessed something, whether we have, you know, directly been experienced to something. So it's very significant. And these are the reasons why we are doing what we're doing. So the idea of repurpose, it is, and I'll move y'all around, to change something so that it could be used for a different purpose. So when we're talking about repurposing, we're talking about repurposing furniture. We're also talking about looking at our lives and seeing where we have came to, how we have came to be, whatever ages we are, right? And we're exploring, okay, what would I like my life to look like if I felt like I had a choice in the matter? Sometimes we're placed in situations where we don't have a choice in the matter. We don't have a say-so, and we're trying to find our way. We're trying to find our route out, right? So when we talk about repurposing, we're giving an opportunity for folks to tap into what could my life look like? And we're looking at life, but we're also looking at this, you know, this tore up piece of furniture that came off of the trash, right? And we're saying, okay, I know it looks tethered, I know it looks weathered, I know it looked like it's been through some things, and it was even on the trash, right? But how can I make this better? How can I make this beautiful? So how we do it, we have the psychodynamic therapeutic interventions. We're doing furniture rehab projects, as I mentioned just a minute ago. We're talking about repurposing lives as well as furniture. We're reviewing our existing mindsets and choices, and we're challenging those behaviors and those patterns and those mindsets that may not be beneficial for whoever we would like to become. We're introducing new ideas, new thought patterns. We're providing the mentorships, and we're also giving incentives for people time so that, you know, there could be different benefits to it. And in addition to something, you know, tangible, like funds, you know, money that could be used for life and meeting basic needs. And if there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Thank y'all for being here, and welcome, Dante. Thank you for being here. A few members of the team are here, so I will definitely allow y'all to, y'all can get some time to speak and talk about your experience as well and your role. So ultimately, each participant in the program is offered up to $400 in stipend money, and this is actual checks that they would receive for their time. Breakfast, lunch, SEPTA trail passes, they're learning a new marketable skill, being introduced in many cases to trauma-informed therapy, as well as other available resources, and that may come by way of announcements while we're there together in the time, via text, via email, as well as a resource board that we keep in the space. And we update that with different resources that folks can connect to. All right. All right, here we go. Case management and monthly meetings. So case management, Fruits of the Family Table already have in practice our reintegration case management program. So everybody that's within the Repurposed Project, they're basically placed right into that model of programming where that person will receive weekly to bi-weekly case management sessions where goal setting will take place. Accountability for the commitment of the different changes that folks would like to see in their lives take place as well as any other resources and any other ways that we can support. And that is for 4 months following the summer months of July and August, because it actually starts it'll start while folks are starting the Repurposed Project and the repurposing and the therapy and the furniture. And the monthly meetings is another time for us to gather monthly, and we're gathering in person. In many instances, we may be being introduced to new experiences, different resources within the community that we can take advantage of. Some resources that we have been exposed to thus far, because we're actively in a cohort right now that'll be ending in July, is going to, if somebody is considering, okay, I would like to do this and learn more about repurposing, there's a program called Tiny WPA, and they do a lot of woodworking and different things of that nature. So we went and we worked on some of their projects, a project that they had, but it's the introduction also if somebody would like to move further in this type of work, as well as the wardrobe. We had Prevention Point come in and talk to us about overturning an overdose, the wardrobe for professional wear. We're actually going there on this Friday. So different experiences as well as introductions to other organizations. Right. So the team, so we have psychotherapists, we have mentors, volunteers, folks that may be volunteering with us or interning with us for college credit. We have skilled wood instructor, case managers, and we also have a NIA instructor. And I'll definitely get into NIA a little bit when we are done with talking about the team. So regarding the team, I know Breck and Dante are a part of the team. If y'all want to share a little bit about what you have experienced thus far, in addition to your role.
Hey everyone, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I don't have my video up here. I guess we'll share it with your screen. Anyway, my name is Breck, and I will be the wood instructor assisting. And pretty much, I was excited last session because I introduced a few things to the participants, and before I knew it, everyone was just off to it. Really excited to. It's a time to share. It's time to get loose. A time to explore, and just really, take kind of awaken the artist in you. So that's what I'm here to do. It's just to help assist what you already have inside, right?
Thanks, Brett.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I wanted to make sure. My bad, I'm not sharing my camera. Running around a little bit right now. But I just wanted to say, like, just joining the family was just awesome. The first repurpose project, got to meet everybody. I feel like all the participants brung something a little bit different and unique, and that made the whole experience like awesome. Uh, this year, I hope, well, with this time around, I hope to be able to participate a lot more than I was able to in the first time. And the last thing I want to add is just like the organization as a whole is awesome. I had the opportunity to represent the organization on a couple of events, and everybody really was like proud of you, Sherelle, and they had a lot of stuff, good things to say about the organization. And I just agree with you that it's on the right track, and if you just keep pushing forward and working hard, it's definitely going to work out for you. Well, for us, I guess, because we know we're a family, but I think you know what I mean too.
Yeah. Thank you, Dante. I appreciate you. Thank you
Yeah,
so
no
much.
problem.
Yes, and thanks for representing. Yes, Dante has been in the community, promoting the Repurpose Project at different events, and that has truly, truly been a blessing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right. Okay, and so we have NIA instructions. So NIA is, I'm going to read it because every time I try to, I don't think I do it justice when I try to explain it. So it's a sensory-based movement practice that draws from martial arts and healing arts by connecting with the mind, body, and spirit. And NIA is an instruction that is provided by our instructor. Her name is Lisa. Lisa, she may be there about once or twice throughout the experience, and she's awesome. And even when we did the icebreaker session, you know, having an opportunity to be present, right? Because sometimes we have a lot going on in our minds. We may have a lot going on in life, right? So when we take time to tap into something, anything, your body may be present, but your mind may not. So one benefit that I can receive from Nia is, you know, she turns on this music and we just, you know, we come alive, you know, even if it's just us having a good time, following the instructions to the best of our ability, right? But also just getting in touch with our bodies. One thing about our bodies is that they carry us through life. You know what I mean? And as we get older, I know some of us are younger on this line, but I'm 40 and I thank my legs, right, for getting me from here to there, whatever, in all of these years, you know, because we have to appreciate it. So when we do the NIA instruction, we get in touch with that. And we also have time to reflect. We have time to meditate. We have time to breathe. And these things, especially breathing, it may sound like, you know, it's just what we do, right? But a lot of times we are not tapped into the breathing of it all, not even a deep breath, just a breath, you know? So we have time to process. We have time to, you know, be free. And Nia gives us that time to do. So we have our chairs and our tables for all of what we do, right? We have the furniture that we work on. We have the space for that. But when it's time for Nia, we move those tables, we move those chairs, and we get up and we do what we do in terms of the movement to the music to the best of our ability. And it has truly been a really good experience, even if it's to bring up the joy. Sometimes we can't, you know, we can't find the smile. Sometimes we can't find the joy, you know. So it definitely gives us an opportunity, if not anything, to be present in the moment, but also to, you know, experience some joy, some quiet time, some solitude. Right. And that's Nia. It's a good experience. I hope I did Lisa justice with explaining what it is. All right. So overall, what we are measuring as we do the repurpose project is we're looking at definitely decreasing the likelihood of violence. So that's either somebody being involved, either way. Professional development. We want to boost someone's self-esteem, and we want to also help folks to have a greater trust and awareness of the health and profession. To be eligible for the repurpose project, the person has to be a Philadelphia resident. We have had a focus on the West Philadelphia area, for a few reasons. The most recent one is the amount of safety within West Philadelphia, wanting to increase, it being a safer area. Well, and this is the Cobb's Creek part of West Philadelphia, but also we receive funding that exclusively focus in on the West Philadelphia area, and that's under the CHOP. It's a CHOP grant. It's a resilience grant, growth and resilience for young adults and children. We need the participant to be available at the required dates and times, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Able to pass a mini mental state exam. So someone that is not actively in a crisis, a mental crisis. No prior woodworking experience, it's not needed. Justice involvement is welcome but not needed. So we are looking for individuals within Philadelphia, 18 to 24 primarily. They don't have to live in the West Philadelphia area. We do prefer it in terms of travel and safety. West Philly or Southwest, they don't have to though. And throughout the experience, there are different themes that would apply to life in addition to the woodworking. So examine, so we're taking a look at how things are looking in this current state. We're thinking about what could it look like. We are taking off whatever maybe holding our lives, right? And the woodworking project that we're working on back. We're restoring and renewing it to a better state, committing to the maintenance of whatever is going to look like, and that's whether the change that we have decided we want it for our lives or the woodworking project, and we are maintaining and talking about ways to maintain. And that maintenance piece is really heavy, because it's a lifelong journey usually. Anyone that's interested should contact myself, Sherelle Wilson. My number is there. We do have some folks I know that have signed up, and I appreciate you for being here. If you have any friends or relatives that fit the criteria that you think would be interested, please feel free to share my information with them. I know how I've been emailing and texting y'all, so y'all have the information, y'all can share it. They have to complete a Google Doc application, a Google Form application. And provide reliable contact information so we can maintain contact with you, so you can start this process and this journey with us. All right, so I just want to share some highlights. So we just finished, well, we didn't just finish, we started cohort 2 in January of 2023. This is just a look at some of our team, a lot of our participants of the program. And this was actually our last day of the woodworking experience and the therapy experience. Thus far, because we are still in our cohort, as I mentioned, it's going to end in July. In terms of our numbers and our outcomes. So one of our outcomes our measures that we were looking at was decreasing the likelihood of violence. So thus far, we have had no one to either become involved or, have further involvement within the criminal justice system or, performing any type of violent acts. For the most part, we are still in communication with many of our participants, if not all of them, about 90% of them. The professional development. So as we are continuing to work with our participants, they are connecting to employment. They are exploring trades. They are getting their resumes together and actively looking for employment. They are feeling more confident in the woodworking experience and doing projects on their own. They are improving in time management. So the requirement for our January group was to arrive, at a certain time, and folks may not be used to waking up so early in the morning, but that commitment and that discipline that had to be established to arrive on time and to be present, in the moment, and to, not even fall asleep sometimes, that was there. So that discipline was improving, as well as that appreciation again for waking up and mornings. Because a lot of folks is like, I'm not getting up until 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? But they was waking up early for us, and that said a lot about the program. So shout out to all of the team members on here, right? Because people came with anticipation for what was to happen, next. Boost in esteem. So 80% of the participants thus far noted happiness as a primary mood during the experience. Coping skills improving, ability to forgive improving, and that self-discipline that I talked about was established and improved. A greater trust and awareness in the helping profession. So many of us are a part of that helping profession, and the feedback that we received from those folks is expressing their experiences with the staff was they felt like we were a family. They received good feedback. They said that the staff was likable, genuine, and authentic. So a typical day, right? What to expect in the Repurpose Project. So our summer edition is a little different than what we were doing in the winter. We want to make space for people to have summers, right? So we are requiring a few days out of the week in July and August, as well as a few weekdays, as well as a few Saturdays. Our typical weekday would start out with a check-in affirmation. So we're sitting, we're talking, we're eating, right? A discussion that would be facilitated by the case managers in addition to our therapists. Lunch, we have woodworking, and then we have either a process group, maybe a special guest may come in from a partner organization to talk about their organization, or Lisa may come in with NIA instruction. We close that day out. That time frame for our Saturdays, and that's the typical day, that's our traditional schedule, it would be a 10 to 3. And I'll talk about this again later on. But then we also have our weekdays, which are shorter. The weekday requirements is a 3-hour requirement. And that's on Tuesdays and Thursdays of not every week. So it's just selected weeks. And the Tuesdays and Thursdays are from 4:30 to 7:30. And it's a much condensed schedule. So it is usually an opening chat with the case management, in addition to a specified focus. So one day there will be a specified focus with woodworking, so Breck and case management, and then one day we'll have therapy and case management, and that would be the specified focus. So it'll be a condensed day. Oh, okay, sorry. So Jade, I don't want to put you on the spot, right? I didn't know if you were going to sign on or not, but this was also in our last info session that we did for our January group. But Jade, I don't know if you want to say anything, but Jade was a part of the very first Repurpose project. And Jade decided she could do it again, right? So I'm going to play this video. And this is just Jade talking about her experience on the first one. This is the first one that we did. I'm sorry. I just need to share my sound. Okay. All right, let me know if y'all can hear when I hit play.
And this is Jade. Jade, if you had one thing to say about your experience with the Repurpose Project, what would it be?
It was very therapeutic.
I
like a lot of the things that we talked about, I took as like self-reflection almost. So yeah.
Awesome. That was great, Jade. Thanks so much for sharing.
No problem.
And thank you, Jade, for that. And we look forward to having you again. All right. So this is just some pictures of cohort 2. and you can just check out some of the work that was done in cohort 2, you know, and some of the experiences. We had guest speakers. We celebrated, you know, special events. You know, we sat down to meals. We provided instruction, you know. This is kind of like our journey in a nutshell. It was much more to it. So I'm not going to say in a nutshell, right? But this was some highlights, I would say, from the journey. And I was just really so appreciative, as well as amazed by some of the talent, the creativity, the effort that was put into the work that was done in the breakthroughs that we met in talking about life, but in addition to the breakthroughs that was met in the furniture, as you can see some of the before and after pictures. And I have a few more on here as well. Any questions so far? Oh, let me check the chat. Oh, nothing in the chat. Okay. All right. All right. So just to talk about the logistics of the Repurposed Project, the summer edition. So we are requiring, for the experience of the woodworking and the therapy and case management, all of that, we are requiring 4 Saturdays from July and August, in 8 weekdays, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's a 4:30 to 7:30 commitment. So the specific times, all of the participants will be made aware. Like we have the times, we have the dates down. I will share those dates with you prior to starting, but they are available and they have been identified. The location is the Abiding Truth Ministries, and that's a church. And it's some space that we're renting inside the church on 846 South 57th Street. It'll be the side entrance, and you'll have all of that information, so you can know where to come into, because it's a pretty big church. They are right off of 57th and Washington Avenue. It starts July the 8th, which is a Saturday. That time commitment is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it's July and August again commitment. Case management is it's a 6-month in total, but it's 4 months to follow, because case management actually will start when the Repurposed Project starts. And our case management appointments are virtual primarily. So that'll be a virtual commitment, either weekly or every other week. And the monthly in-person meetings are just that, they're monthly and in-person, and they will begin after. So the first one will take place when we just have the case management services to start to continue in September. So the first in-person monthly meeting will be in September, and everybody will receive more than enough notice and clarification surrounding the requirements and the logistics of it all. Okay. All right, so I am the contact manager of the program, so you can definitely reach out to me, Sherelle Wilson. My contact information is there. My number is there. My email is there. All right, so I am going to stop sharing. And are there any other questions? Or any questions or any thoughts?
I'm all good. I mean, I feel like you explained everything pretty well, so I don't have any questions.
Appreciate that. All right, so some of you are going to be a part of the Repurposed Project. Some of you are a team and referral sources and things of that nature. Again, I will be in touch with everybody. If you know someone that is interested in being a part of the Repurposed Project, please send them my way. You had the link, right? The link is on our Instagram page, and I'll also send the link out to you so you can have that. But again, thank you all for being here. I hope that this was able to clarify some questions that you may have had. One thing that I think I did not touch on is the stipends. So the stipends is a check. So you will receive a check during the first day of orientation. There will be some documents that you need to complete for us to receive the stipend. The stipend will be given the week after, every week that you come in. So let's say we start on the 8th, whatever that following week is, you will be able to get your stipend then. You would have to sign for it. Because it is a check, you want to make sure that you have proper identification. And if you don't, we can help you get proper identification. So you will be able to go into, a bank and or you will be able to go into a check cashing or however you cash a check so you can receive the funds. So you would get it like that. You would not have to wait till the end of the process to receive the funds. It will be on an ongoing basis for your time and your investment, your commitment to the program ongoingly. Is there anything else? No, I think that was it. There was something else, but we'll talk about it. I'm sure it'll come back. All right. But if there's nothing else for me, everybody have a good day. Thank you again for your time. And we are looking forward to having you along for this cohort 3 of Repurpose. Take
For
care.
sure. Thanks, Sherelle. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
Everyone, thanks, Sherelle. Good to see you.
You